I don't think the mic's on, buddy.
What's that? Say it again.
I don't think the mic's on.
I think you're right. Canada Mike producing the shit out of this thing already. Thank you,
There
Canada
you go.
Mike.
Boom.
Thank you, Canada Mike. Oh. Well, anyway, hello to Lauren and you at home. Cars and Comedy Show, Jay Ryan. We've got a great guest tonight. It's Lit Week, everybody. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. Usually it means there's a big showing at Breakfast Club. However, there's going to be a big snowing at Breakfast Club. Yeah, that happened live. Sorry about that. And so we're going to be talking about what will the alternative be. We may have an answer by the end of this show. But the main event, we're going to be talking Porsches. We're going to be talking cars in general. We're going to be talking architecture, design, friendship, getting old. We're going to be talking getting old with our friend Dan Brunn. Internationally known architect and LA car collector Dan Brunn is here. He's a good friend of ours. He was a guest when this thing was just starting out, and he's back to tell us everything that he's been doing since. I think Bridge House was like, I don't even know if he'd moved in last time, so we're going to be discussing that stuff as well. The good news is for all of you at home, although she's sitting there in the dark, there we go. Nicole is here. You're here on Instagram, and all the way up in Canada, producing the show and making sure that we can be heard on microphone is Canada Mike. Hello, producer Mike.
Greetings, Jay. It's great to be seen.
Oh, no. What happened now? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Seen but almost not heard. Let's see. Also here.
I love you guys.
Irene Hoffman is here. As I check the desk. Irene Hoffman, architecture. Yay. Yay. All right, Will, let's start us off, will you? Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer? Welcome back, everybody. We are finally back in the playset. It's, oh no, I'm dinging already. Hello. Who could this be? Let's see. Oh, wow. All right. Wow. Okay, this is a very interesting thing that affects Thursday, but... All right. Thursday's guest just sent me a text. He's in the ER currently, so so we'll deal with that in a little bit. Good wishes to Sean Cridlin, who is currently figuring some stuff out. That is real-time news, folks. He's supposed to be here on Thursday, and he was 4 hours into his commute today. and had to turn around. He's in the ER currently, suspected clot in his lower right leg. Don't know much yet. Maybe I can video it on Thursday too. Don't know yet. All right, so whatever. We're figuring that out, but good grief, I hope he's okay. In the meantime, this is a little bit strange, but the owner of Carbone, who did our livery, the 111 on the car and the California in the back, we've been fans of them for years. We used to see them at the Lit Show every year when you could walk and we could brave those crowds and everything inside. You remember how tight it was in the convention center? I mean, at the Hilton. Anyway, he sent a message the other day saying, hey, do you have any spots? So maybe he'll be here on Thursday. We'll see. It's all happening in real time. Anyway, speaking of real time, it is February 21st, 2023, and it's 5:08, would you say, in the PM here in the Pacific? That's correct. Correct. The good news is, everybody, Irene Hoffman is here. She is excited about architecture, and Driven Dave says nice. It is Lit Week, as I said in the beginning. Lit Week is big Porsche week here in Los Angeles. Big car week in general, but Porsche specific, because it was, I guess the Lit Show was originally put on by Stoddard, their Porsche company. Anyway, whatever. Lots and lots and lots of people coming in town. I've been getting messages for weeks and weeks and weeks about GVBC this Friday, and, will there be one? Because people from out of town don't realize we're just there every week. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting if you paid any attention to the weather, and I'm sure you have if you're traveling in. We're going to get some. Los Angeles is going to get some weather again this weekend. More specifically than just rain, though, the snow level is supposed to get down to about 1,000 feet. That's very low for us. That must mean the temperatures are going to be very cold, and the precipitation will be plentiful. They are estimating about a foot in the 35 to 4,000 range, and multiple feet above that. To anyone who doesn't know, Newcomb's Ranch is at 5,400 feet. Multiple feet of snow. I do not think we will be doing Breakfast Club up at Newcomb's Ranch this Friday. Unless there is some crazy turn of events with the weather and Caltrans is able to just mow through it and it's no big deal, which totally happens sometimes. We'll be monitoring throughout the week and won't make the call till Thursday. Unless that happens, it's not going to be up at Newcomb's, and we don't recommend anyone go up there because when it's that bad, Caltrans just needs to be given the space to do their work. It's very common in LA for all of the looky-loos to go up and, there's snow, let's go take pictures, and they want to take their kids out and sled, Nothing wrong with anybody wanting to go up there in the snow. We're two people who like to as well. But this weekend, I think it's going to be a little nuts. And it's not safe, of course, but also I'm just trying to respect the agencies that patrol that area. And looky-loos get in the way. People who don't know how to drive up there cause accidents, and then that's a problem. It just...
Extraneous people up there, it's not good ever.
You're right. That's a very good point. So anyway, currently, we're throwing darts, right? And currently, the nearest dart to what we think might happen is GVBC, the OC style, and simply doing GVBC down at Auto Kennel because they are happening at the same time, and both of us were not happy about that. And it feels like God may have intervened with the weather, and now we can go support Auto Kennel as they have always supported us. So, whatever. Up in the air. But I know a lot of people are tuning in because a lot of people are curious about it because a lot of people have been sending messages. And now here's their chance to listen to all of the information. Let's say hello to our friend Canada Mike up there because we have not had a chance to speak with him in any great length in time. And whatever. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
You're like the Pied Piper, but instead of rats, it's like Amazing Cars, where you go and you sing your little, play your little flute. All these cars will follow you across the greater Los Angeles area. That's a very cool responsibility you have, my friend.
Okay. The way you paint it sounds very cool. I don't know if it's really like that or not, but I appreciate your support because that would be very cool. Although who wants that responsibility either? It just happened. GVBC became this, it was an accident. It was our breakfast thing that became a lot of people's breakfast thing. and then the breakfast went away, and we just kept going. And, it is what it is. It's sort of this worldwide cultural phenomenon that doesn't make any sense because it can't be traced down to anything on a map other than a closed restaurant on a mountain road. Not an event, not a group drive, not a car meet. I mean, it's not a car show. It's not even really a Cars and Coffee, except that we bring coffee and other people do too.
I just had to tell Mitch's friend this weekend that.
Hang on, slow down. Let's start over. Say it again.
I just had to tell Mitch's friend this weekend that it wasn't a drive.
You said to who this weekend that it wasn't a drive?
Mitch's friend.
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I truly couldn't understand.
This is why I don't talk a lot. Words are hard to get out.
You got it now. You're on the money now. I think I just wasn't.
Yes, and that's awesome of you because you're great, but it sounds different in my head, so fuck me.
Last night it was a yes or no question, and you answered whatever, the opposite one, but I knew you meant the opposite. But if it was anybody else, you would have gotten the yes or the whatever you said.
This is why I need supervision.
No. Well, maybe a little bit. That's pretty funny. Reminding anyone who's never tuned in before, she has multiple sclerosis. She's not drunk, but that's a very common assumption.
Been in denial for a decade, and I'm just coming out of it. So high.
There's a lot of stuff going on with the Lit Week. I guess maybe we'll talk to Dan about some of that stuff. But how are you, my friend? What's happening with you up there north of the border?
I'm good. Just lots of stuff going on for all of us. We all got lots of stuff going on, but lots of business stuff. This is a big week for finance in Canada. The last week of February marks a thing. So for my financial business, I've got a busy week. Couple of podcasts already in the can, which is great. Went with Nadine Henley today for 2 hours and 15 minutes. She's one of the Hi-Ho Babes on Late Show with David Letterman. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, and, Nadine. Oh, that's wonderful.
Nadine.
That'll bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people.
Boy, and for her, it was a delightful conversation because last night she was messaging me and she was like, I don't know how much I'm going to remember. I really don't. And today the floodgates just opened right up, and we thought we were going to go about an hour. We went 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it was lots of good memories discussed.
That is not that is a very common thing to happen with you and people on that show. They go, I don't know how much I don't really want to talk. He gets them to open up, and then whatever the ideas are, once that floodgate is open, they just out they come. And I guess you're a good listener, buddy, because they like talking to you. So keep it up.
I guess so. She said to me today, she goes, it's like we've known each other for years. I feel like I could tell you anything. And it was really cool. That's part of the podcast too. Like that's in the episode.
Candy, watch out.
It was very sweet.
Mike's flirting it up with one of the Hi-Ho Babes.
That's right. Although Don Giller was part of it. Don Giller was part of the episode, and he kept referring to her to Nadine as his wife. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I wouldn't want to ever get in the middle of anything.
Wow. I mean, maybe it's a good. I love Don Giller. I mean, have we ever said that? Because I credit him and tribute a lot on the show, talk about his YouTube channel and everything. But he's just so wonderfully odd that I adore him, and I don't know if he knows that. So maybe I'm saying this for him. He's our Hal Gurney. He really is.
Well, actually, there's two moments in the podcast where she goes off and gushes about Dawn, which he wasn't on camera at the time, but he was listening. And I just sat there with this little grin on my face because he hates being complimented. And she kept going on and on and on and on about him. And my response to her was, I think he might be one of the only humans on the planet where he will stand for being talked to in such a way. It was a sweet little moment.
I think he likes it. I think he likes to. Yeah. I think he likes being appreciated. I don't think he likes fawning and stuff like that. But I think he likes to be appreciated because he really has put. This is his lifelong work. I mean, he was in music for a while, publishing, I think, for a while. He's been in a bunch of different fields and stuff. But like, this is the thing he's been doing for fucking 40 years.
Yep.
This is his
make no
swan
mistake,
song.
she was fawning.
Yeah, well, then you're right. I think he would accept it from her. Who do you have this week, or is it who you just said?
Jason Zinnemann is Friday's episode that comes out. That was a great conversation as well. He's going to come back on as well at another point, and then Nadine will be for next Friday.
He's
and
in
then
New
I
York,
think we're
right?
going to do the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's in New York. Yeah, he's the New York Times comedy critic. So his job is literally to go and report on the comedy scene and comment on it in New York. It's a very cool gig.
Did you read his piece that he just wrote about Mark Maron and Roseanne Barr and somebody else? Okay.
Yep, we
I'm
shared
assuming
it.
you guys
And then he
probably
also
talked
had a
about that.
piece on. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking.
After you brought it up and all.
The gentleman who just passed.
Let me know
He
when
had
you
a
want
talk show, was
Let me
on
know when
Law
you
and
want it.
Order. I can't
Let me
believe I'm
know- let me
blanking
know
on
when
his
you want
name. Yeah, I want it.
Richard Belzer.
Thank you. Oh
The
my
Bells.
gosh, can't believe I blanked on that.
And by the way, I'm
Bells.
really glad you
Yeah.
brought it up because R.I.P. I was a huge fan of Richard Belzer's comedy, his comedy persona, where he stood on things. I think he was just a really solid dude. I know a tremendous amount of people that knew him very, very well personally. Well, I'd met him. I never knew him personally. I don't know about you. But I do know from all these people that I trust that he was a very, very loving individual. Maybe not always that way, but definitely that way in the last few decades.
I met him one time with iced tea.
With Ice-T. Oh, because of Law and Order.
Yeah, in New York.
Awesome.
It was a quick hi bye, but I am such a fan.
Yeah. Previous guest on this show, Paul Provenza, was used to have a show called The Green Room, and Richard Belzer was on that once, and he did a Rolling Stones main guy. What's it? Mick Jagger off
Mick Jagger.
with another former guest of this show, Rick Offerman. Not Rick Offerman. Nick Offerman. Rick Overton.
Nick Offerman.
I'm making up people here. Rick Overton. Remember the Flapjacks guy from Groundhog Day? Flapjacks. He's been in a million things, but he's that guy. We just watched Groundhog Day. I don't know why I told you all that. I do want to get our guest Dan Brunn in here, but I haven't talked to you in a million years, buddy, so I just want to make sure that we were good and caught up with all this stuff.
Very much so. Lots of stuff going on.
Life's good for you?
Life's good. Life's great for us. Yeah. Busy,
Wonderful.
but great.
Great. I know your mouth isn't always working, but how are you doing?
I'm in a lot of pain.
Well, foundation stuff, a lot of things happening, including this week. Perfect time to bring this up. Stay informed on abreast of what is going on with this situation right here, folks. The listeners are like, what the hell is all that crinkling and what are they talking about? Stay tuned to my Instagram all week as we will have updates the next 3 days on this, including Friday, when you will find out where this will be available to buy so that you can hang it in your home. Not this small one. This is just a proof. The ones, the prints of this, the large-scale prints will be 30 by 40 inches, which is a very very common poster size, which is why that was chosen. And eventually, in a month or two, the original of this, which is much larger scale, you've seen it here on the show, it takes up half the studio, will actually be up for auction. And we're still trying to lock in the auction house for that. Our guest on Thursday was going to be Sean Cridlin. Again, hope he's doing okay. So we're going to talk about the Brumos book series as well, which will be these are fundraisers for the foundation, by the way. I should have started doing everything in reverse tonight, folks. Remember that Seinfeld episode where they go to India? You could stuff your sorries in a sack. All of this is to say we are funding 2023 for this show, for Good Vibes, for plans we have for Nicole's foundation, for life. We are funding 2023. And this is some of the ways we are doing it. We also would be very grateful for any type of monetary donation to the foundation, tax deductible, mind you, be it $5 or $5,000. It doesn't matter. There is no. It's like PBS. It's like Channel 13 when you were a kid. No donation is too small. And somewhere down the line, we're looking to have someone match all of these as well, but we're still working on that. But we would be grateful if you would check out the autoimmunityfoundation.org to learn more about Nicole and what we're doing and what our ideas are. And that website is being constantly updated, by the way, so check back from time to time. Also, Nicole's old blog is on there, and we have plans for ways to try to get that going again, and maybe a video blog or something different that's a little bit easier for you to do down the line.
I just started writing again today. Thanks.
So it's all happening. It's all happening. Also, there is tons and tons of news. I told Dan he'd be in here at 5:15. Sorry, Dan. There's tons and tons of things going on behind the scenes. April 15th. Here, let me tell you the business card real quick. In front of the scenes. Here we go. Our good old buddy Adam Ferrari is going to be at the Marconi Auto Museum for a night of cars and comedy April 1st. That's right, it's April Fool's Day. Go to eventbrite.com/Marconi for ticket information. We will be there participating in some form or another. Also, on April 15th, normally tax day, but it's not this year for some reason, the Motoring Club, our friends at the Motoring Club, we will be there with this show doing a fundraiser for Nicole and the Autoimmunity Foundation on April 15th. It's a 5th-year anniversary party for the show. It's a fundraiser for the foundation, and we're going to be doing a live taping as well. And I am really looking forward to this one. I can't even start to think about how we can plan it because there are so many other things that we're doing first. But I'm really excited about it. Also, to pay the bills around here, got to support the sponsors. And your only source, and I mean only, capital O, only source for officially licensed Late Show with David Letterman merchandise is indeed the Hello Deli in New York City, 53rd and Broadway. That's right, Rupert G. and the Hello Deli. Go to hello-deli.com, order up your Late Show merch. Say hello to Rupert. Make sure you say hello for Nicole as well, because oftentimes...
I cannot.
Paul Harvey, good day. I could hear it. I could hear my voice there. Turning into a radio broadcaster. Also, GVBC merch. I'm not going to hold it up, but you know what it is. I guess I should. Gosh darn it. Here we go. Sticker packs available. Available again. Back in stock. This hat, I think, is available. And this shirt is still available in limited sizes, I believe. This one may be sold out or not. I don't know. But these are the things. Go to dualshift.com or the Instagram page, and you can link it through there as well. And that's our good buddy David. His company is Dual Shift. Sorry, I'm off the mic there. Our good friend David. Company is Dual Shift. And they do the GVBC merch. Merch is not the right word. Merchandise. I'll find a new word for that. Swag isn't right either, though. Merch sounds too buy it. Swag sounds too free. We need something in the middle.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
There's shirts and hats that people seem to like, though, so I'll noodle on that.
My GVBC, this is not because it's GVBC. My GVBC shirt is my favorite shirt. I have several of them. It's because of whatever the material David found and put them out. It's like a genuine old school rock and roll tee. It's whatever that material is, so it wears that way really well. Hard to describe. It's more comfortable every single week. As a garment. I don't know what it'll do for your personality.
Thanks for that clarification. We were confused about that.
I was going to do another Paul Harvey. Good day. I just keep hearing it now, and I can't stop doing it. Does anybody even know who Paul Harvey is? No? No, my God. My grandparents would. Does anyone on this show know? Irene, somebody?
That's the rest of the story, right?
Jay Franz, evening all. Shoot, I don't know. Did I start a story? I'm bad at that.
No, didn't Paul Harvey say that? And now you know the rest of the story, or now you know isn't that him?
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That was Walter Cronkite. Or Bruce Almighty. Yeah, I don't know. He did have something, but all I can remember is when he was signing off at Paul Harvey. Good day. A man in Wichita cut his own toe off while he was stuck to the oven. What? Wouldn't imagine walking. You know what I mean? He would always have some kind of. All right, nobody knows who it is. Forget it. I don't think he was political in nature, so I think he was fine for everybody. It wasn't like a Rush Limbaugh or somebody like that.
Right.
Where only certain people might listen to him. I think Paul Harvey was for everybody. But how the hell do I know? I only heard him on my grandfather's radio. You know, we'd go to the Moose Lodge down in Maryland, listen to Paul Harvey in the car. You know, and sitting outside having his pitcher of beer. Okay. Seriously, enough is enough. Let's get our guest in here. Did I do all the things? Also, ByronBowers.com, Spiritual N-Word on Hulu, and he's around Los Angeles performing. He's been at the Comedy Store the last few weeks, so definitely check out ByronBowers.com or the Comedy Store. Let's do a very, very quick break. Irene does know Paul Harvey. Look, Irene, it's interactive TV. That's the wave of the future. Let's do a quick break here. We're gonna do Oh So Delicious hot sauce. The hot sauce
Made by bears.
Here it comes. Any second now. Yeah.
Oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at ohsodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
You haven't been here in a long time, so like this. What are you driving today? 63 356B. Hey, 111. What are you driving today? Here we go. Oh, this is fun, David. Thumbs up for sure.
This just proves that you don't have to go fast to have fun.
You don't have to go fast. Can you see my smile already?
Okay, I'm impressed.
You don't need to stick it. You already got it. My car's going to feel slow as balls after this, I'll tell you that. Pedal down. Yeah, baby. Not being in a program, though. Like, that's the best. Oh, here we are. Here we go.
All right.
Yeah. And then that's a water for you, too.
Oh,
Yourself.
there's double
Make
waters.
yourself-
I'll put this away
make
so
yourself-
everything will look nicer, too, you know?
Whatever you like. Whatever you like. I am excited that we are back here with our
Me
buddy Dan
too.
Brunn. There we go. It has been a couple years since you've been here.
I think so. Maybe 3.
That surprises me.
It surprises me,
Holy
but
crap.
maybe I don't know because I heard you asking about Bridge House.
Yeah,
I don't think
you-
it was done.
I don't think it was either.
So
I
it's
think you
got to be
hadn't
3
moved
years, which is too long.
That's
Don't forget we
amazing.
had that COVID thing going on in between there also.
That you've been busy. We've been busy. Also, it doesn't feel like we've been doing the show for 3 years, let alone 5 years.
Which is crazy.
It's 5 years.
Yeah,
now.
it's 5-year anniversary, right? Yeah. Yeah.
for us.
Hey,
We already were. It was already this, right?
This
it
was
already
here,
Okay.
and we talked about it, you know, and I actually just told my staff a little bit about this. You know what they asked me? They asked me if I have a podcast voice. And I said,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I could talk like this or something, you know. But no, this...
Well, you project on your own. I don't know if you have a broadcasting voice. You don't even need a microphone.
No, I'm good. I used to teach at university, and the students used to know when I got into the vicinity of the hall.
The booming voice was-
Yes. So evidently, like
Professor is approaching.
Yes. So like the freshmen were like super intimidated, I guess. I don't know, but it worked. It worked. My whole thing was you started with 15 students. If you could get rid of 2 in the first week, you're winning. You're giving everybody a gift. First of all, it's better for
You're
the rest of
weeding
the
it
other
out.
students. Yeah, you're weeding it out. I had one student that was on his 3rd year of failing, not pass. Oh, sorry. They gave him a non-pass for the same class. I finally failed him. And I think it was the best gift that I ever gave this kid in his life.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, come on, get out of here. Like, do something you actually love. There's
Yeah.
no need for you to be in architecture studio on Facebook talking to your girlfriend.
It's like you cut the cord.
Totally. But it took
doing
paperwork.
the same shit over and over.
Over and over again.
Trying to
And it's
pass.
the problem is there's other students. It's bad for morale. You know, you have all these other students that are there. They don't want to see this guy who's just like clunking around. You want to be inspired. You know, you got to be
Yeah.
around that kind of energy.
Especially in the creative field like that.
For sure. For sure.
Whoa.
No, it was. And then,
Sucks it right out.
yeah, I mean, it took a lot of paperwork, but it was worth it for everybody.
Ah, good for you.
Yeah.
Do you still teach, or was that?
No, I stopped. I want to do it again.
Yeah.
I stopped teaching once I couldn't remember my students' names. And then I realized that I'm way too invested in what I do in my office and not the students. And then I swore to not come back.
That honestly is so impressive to me that you could tell that you weren't doing them the service that you wanted to.
No.
So you removed
No, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not.
I agree.
I
Most
know.
people would be selfish and take the money,
Correct.
do both jobs.
Correct. But to me, I did it in like servitude. Like honestly, like I remember my teachers, and why I'm here is because of them. Like honestly, like they gave me their full undivided attention. And when I used to teach, it was like 1 to 5 p.m. or 1 to 6 p.m. depending on the day. It was a full on, and by the time you would get home, drained. Drained. There's nothing left anymore.
'Cause you were giving it all.
You were giving it all. And I assume it's the same thing for you. Like you hosting, and you know, not everybody. I'm sure not everybody talks, and you got to pull it out of people, and you got to make it feel comfortable, and you got to make it feel. It takes a lot of energy to be on, and especially when I had like
this little room thing is fine, but people expect whatever they see on this in real life. And then when it's a couple people, it's really awesome and great because you get to have those one-on-ones. But then when there's too many people, we both get overwhelmed, and then it's exactly what you said. You're not able to give people what you are used to and want to, and then you're like, why am I even here? Correct. So when you like that resonates with me so big. Yeah. It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. That's what I sense it. And it's interesting that you say that about people.
I sense you're easily overwhelmed.
No, yes, I got it. No, I sense that you give a lot. That's what I'm saying. I sense that you give a lot, you know, in everything you do. And when you give a lot in everything you do, yes, you get tired. We're not superhumans. We have passion. We do what we love, and we do what we love for. I don't want to say the greater good, whatever it means, but we do it for the people. Okay, for everybody else around. Okay, that's why I do what I do.
I for sure say the greater good. We're moving the needle, or our goal is to
move the needle. Is to move the needle. Whether we're doing it or not, who knows?
Right.
But we're pushing towards that.
I mean, literally, amen. I'm saying amen to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and that takes sacrifice. Like I've realized that over the years. Like I'm like, oh, to get to whatever it is that I got to in my life, it took sacrifices. I made decisions by doing one thing over another. That's it. But I'm happy with it. I don't want to come off saying like, oh, you know.
If only they'd made different choices.
Correct. No. I'm happy. I'm happy with all the choices, but I do recognize that there's sacrifices on there, and I think people need to know that. You know, it's like you can't just do everything and just be, wow, I have everything in life.
Yeah, and it just all comes easily.
No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't. There's work.
Well, the sacrifice is a big one. Work and sacrifice generally.
For sure. And I probably put my career as number one and me as number two for 20 years or more.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And I mean, we spoke about it a little bit. Only now am I realizing like, oh wow, I owe myself something.
You're finally coming around and putting yourself first. You mean?
Absolutely. Like I was at a dinner, and it turned to be like 10:30, and I was like, okay, we've had dinner. We've had a few like desserts. It's time to go home.
We've done the socializing.
We've done it. I'm done.
How long do we need to ring this thing out?
I used to feel guilty. I used to be like, oh my God, I can't go home. And I got up and I said, thank you, everybody.
Was it FOMO in the old days? Was it like, oh, well, the thing is still going on, so I don't want to leave?
FOMO and fear that I will lose a friend.
Right, because you don't want to upset someone by not spending enough time.
I was a people pleaser.
Inside you.
It killed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, crap, if I leave right now, I might not get invited again. They're not going to like me.
I did the same thing of like always be the last to leave.
Help them clean up.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, I have something to do at 6 a.m. You guys don't, maybe.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Or this is my third thing of the day already.
Yes, exactly. So I'm okay with it, you know?
Good for you.
Yeah.
Part of that is just maturity, but I think part of it is like the literal, the age and mileage.
Age and mileage. But I think it is maturity. I think it is coming to the point where you realize like enough is enough and there's nothing that's going to change. Or it's at that point too that you feel, who cares what people think?
But I didn't get there until our time and efforts and energy were so precious. They were commodities to us that were no longer, they used to just sort of self-replenish themselves. Your own energy, money, like all of those things when you're young. They just kind of,
and I think people,
the bank's always full.
Yeah, and I think people look at me and they expect to be able to pull from me. Like, like, oh, let's take a bit of Dan, take a little bit. And I'm like, there's only so much. Vampires. Like, I'm looking at my schedule. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing another like Bridge House tour. I'm doing another this. I'm doing another that. I'm like, when is my time?
Yeah. When's
And-
my day to
yeah.
kick my feet and my
Correct.
shoes off at the bridge
So I'll
house?
say something controversial.
All right.
COVID for me was there were some beautiful times there. You know, Bridge House was just done in October. Everything hit the wall in March. I got to live in that house with friends.
Yes.
All the rooms were taken up by friends. We had the pool. We had the
But without it being the business you intended
correct,
it to be
correct,
for the first
correct.
year. Oh
so
my
obviously I had the
gosh.
stress of how am I going to monetize everything? You know, that there's repercussions from it, long live. But oh my God, I had some beautiful moments.
Yeah.
So
Your Instagram was off the hook during
Nice.
that time.
I had a
in
good
the
time.
pool. Look at this couch. Look at this piece of art.
Yeah,
How
that was
about
it.
this hallway?
That's it.
You were just
That
featuring
was just,
different
I was
little
enjoying
areas.
life. I was really, and it's changed me. It's definitely changed me.
Do tell.
I choose to
You
be.
seem the same, but a little more chill. You used to kind of be
100%.
like there was an energy that kind of came with you because of that drive that you have that you just talked about.
I'm more at ease with myself and that energy, I think. But the thing is, I choose wholeheartedly where I want to be and with whom I want to spend that time with. And so I've gotten to that point in my life where I'm like, fuck it. And so I'm very content in that. You know, I'm here. I wanted to be here. I was like, these are people I like. You know, these are people that I enjoy. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to do things I don't enjoy. And I've been able to cut that shit out. And I think COVID accelerated that, like, majorly for me. Majorly.
I think for the world, that's one of the things I will say good that I don't know if that's controversial. If that's
I-
what you
I-
meant.
yeah,
A
it's
good thing to
fine.
come from COVID was that people did seem to all of a sudden prioritize a little differently. Some people have followed their dreams. Some people started businesses they always wanted to. Whatever the heck.
Whatever the hell.
But they did the pivot that they needed to.
Correct.
Like you
Correct.
flunking that student. It's kind of the same thing. It's sort of a
It's sort of that thing
Shit
that
or
you
get
have
off
to
the
do.
pot.
Correct.
sorry. I probably can't say that anymore. But
Yeah, I'm not commenting. There's no truth to the story, but it's funny. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed for me in that sense. I don't know if you saw, but I guess one of the I guess it's weird to say it. Like, I'm young but old. We're talking about that, but a big lifetime thing just happened last week for me, which is how do I the best way to put it? It's like being knighted as an architect.
ooh,
So it's 3%.
this is an award of some sort.
Kind of, yeah. It's
Recognition.
It's recognition.
Okay.
It's you're admitted into what's called the College of Fellows.
Oh boy, this sounds.
I
good.
know. So
You
that's
get a
why it's like-
necklace and you're gonna
I just
meet
need-
Indiana
I just
Jones.
need somebody to knight me. I need like a knight, like something. But so I've been okay. So you're a licensed architect. You do all this stuff. You're a part of the American Institute of Architecture, which is the AIA, and then they have this thing called an FAIA, which is a fellow of the AIA, and the likes of like Richard Meyer or Frank Gehry, names like that get that.
The fellow of.
Fellow. So you could write like, Dan Brunn, FAIA.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, okay. So I've been working. Okay, so the way it works is you have to be nominated also too.
Oh,
It's
of
not
course.
as if like, oh, one day you're gonna just say like, oh, I'm gonna apply for this. So I was nominated.
You're going to be protecting the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy
There you
Grail at
go.
the end of
There
this.
you go.
So this is
There
a
you go.
very
Indiana
stringent,
Jones and us are gonna be
very
doing-
stringent process.
So they reached out to me from the local chapter, the chair, and he's like, oh, are you into this? You want to do? I'm like, of course. And this was like right at the end of Bridge House being done, like October 2019. I was like, yeah. And
Is that why you were on their radar? Because you've done internet. Your
I've done
projects
a bunch
are
of
huge.
shit. I don't know. It just
Okay.
happened.
Okay.
Everything just happened. Here's the thing with my career. I didn't. How do I say this? I was never that person that like I need to do this in order to do this. I never calculated my path. So this just happened, and I thought, hold on. Let's not take away from it and saying it just happened. It happened that I got nominated. Okay, and then I thought, oh, when you get nominated, it's like Academy Award. Yeah, you're gonna win it. It's like
1 in 5, baby.
Come on, baby. I'm gonna do this shit. I didn't realize it took me 3 years of the application process. For 6 months out of the 3 years, I had no weekends. So let's just like to put it into perspective. It was like that much work. So I was running my office and then putting this 40-page portfolio or book together. It's a book.
The application.
The application's
process.
3 years.
Cow.
So failed the first year, failed the second year, and I just got the text last Thursday. I was like, what? I'm like, this is fucking crazy. So to me, I'm on that high right now.
Yeah.
Because it was just something that, and I had to get, I think like 12 to 14 letters of recommendation for this thing from
That's
everybody.
a lot.
It's a lot. And every
It's
year,
like a Rogue
3
Scholar
more.
type of, all of these
It's
little
hell.
private,
Yeah.
the Skull and Crossbones or whatever that one
That
is.
kind of
They're
shit.
all
Yeah,
them,
it's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm riding high on that right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, dude.
And that
Thank you.
sounds like also an international type of recognition.
And it's basically 3%, to put it in perspective, 3% of world architects get it. So it's just like a tiny little thing. So thank you.
You should
Thank
be eating out on this one for a while, hopefully.
I know I have. Okay,
Do you have
so
to renew every year, or is it for
no,
life?
no, you have to pay the dues every year.
Sure,
Don't worry
sure.
about that.
Sure,
They're gonna be like, well, what are you doing now? Actually,
Well, that's like the Magic Castle, but you don't need to reapply every year.
Thank God. Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
perfect.
No. Oh, but if I didn't get it this year, I would have had to start from zero.
Oh, they give you 3 shots
They give you
on
3
the
shots,
first.
and you're in, and that's it. Like 3 shots, and you're out. And if it would have been
That's
that,
kind of fair. That's like better than emissions.
it is
For a
And-
smog check.
Actually,
Sorry
I
for all
need
the
to do some
analogies.
smart- But now I'm basically gonna. What was I gonna say?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. If I wasn't gonna get it, I was gonna back off. I was
Really?
Yeah. I
'Cause
was
you
gonna
don't
be like,
chase
let's wait
things.
10 years. It's mostly like 60-year-old people that have it.
Does anybody get it when they don't apply? Like other people put them up for it and then they just receive it?
No,
and they still
honorary.
have to pay the thing, but
You can only like I think like 1 or 2 people get like an honorary thing, and they're probably close to death. Or
you have to
something.
want it and go for it.
Correct.
And pass the things
Correct.
in order to get it.
Correct.
That's very
you have
cool.
to be a member of the AIA for at least a decade. You have to show what they call ripple effect.
Oh, how you've affected
how-
the industry.
Yes.
Ooh.
Which is fucking hard to define.
Well, or easy if you're a good creative.
Yes and no. What are you gonna say? Like, somebody copied me, or no,
Yeah,
no,
because
like,
you're calling anyone out who does. Oh, that's weird.
it's weird. So you have to say like, okay, so the first year they came back and they're like, I had a lot of press, and they're like, oh no, we don't know about this press. I'm like, no, it's all legit press.
But it's not of the 5 or 6 publications they recognize, correct? Yeah. I
And they
read it.
want it to be exact. Not only that, it has to be. You have to have a thesis statement, which is a 35-word statement. That 35-word statement has to be resonated throughout the 40 fucking pages. That has to be in line with your letters of recommendation, with your mentor's letter, with your mission statement, all of that. So it's not
Everything
like a
gets
lifetime
vetted.
achievement. Like, look how great I am. I've done all of this.
It has to be a through line.
Yes, and it's like precise, precise.
And significant enough to be
Yes.
recognized.
Nationally and internationally. And some things they didn't understand. So I wrote like the Instagram thing, like we have like a verified thing. They're like, what is that?
If I have
like,
to explain
oh my
this to you,
God,
isn't
what
that
is
an
that?
automatic in?
Yeah, exactly. No, they didn't know. And the local chapter, who is your champion, they're like, no, you got to remove Instagram. I told them I'm not removing Instagram. I said, if I want to push this profession forward, it is part of life. You can't keep flipping through magazines. They're dead. Like if you look at
I would like to live in that world too, but unfortunately we are in the swipe world.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. So, and I tried to explain to them that yes, having a verified check on your account is a big fucking deal. They didn't understand the ripple effect of what that means. That means that somebody else is trying to copy you. That means that somebody else is we know what
That
that means.
sort of defines the ripple
It
effect.
does.
Yeah.
And that's why I had a page on it, and they were like, no, that sounds like self
Promotion or
correct.
Yeah. But it is, and I hate that part of social media.
I
But
get
it is
it.
all self-promotion. That's
It is.
the point.
It is.
It really kills somebody who fancies themselves more of an artist mentality. It's like,
It's tough. Well, what do you think when somebody
I've gotta
sends
do
me
this
like an
based on
AI
numbers.
thing? They send me like, oh, look at this, look what they've done here. I'm like,
look what this computer designed.
correct. Or I have car builder friends that show me like a rendering of like a build that they're doing that somebody did before they did, because they could just
Print
AI
it.
that shit.
Yeah, just print it out, 3D print it.
It kills me. And to the normal eyes, the untrained eye, you look at it, you're like, wow, look at this. I'm like, no. Like Bridge House took 5 years to make. 5 fucking years. I drew it within a week. No, like literally, I had renderings within a week. What's the difference? The reality is, how do you make something that you could actually embody and enjoy it and see it and get it out there?
It has been my experience, 45 years old, It's been my experience that most people think the idea is the hard part. Unless you're an actual creative in the business where you realize that the idea is the easiest part. Everyone's got ideas. Everyone's shitting out ideas.
Correct.
Facilitating those ideas is where it gets really goddamn complicated.
Yeah, and it's facilitating the idea at the right time.
Oh, timing, luck, business, all of the things.
I mean, are you kidding? In grad school, I had so many friends who were, I would say, far superior, more genius or whatever than I could ever be in certain things. And I also knew that they're not going to push that. That you're never going to see what their ideas are in real life because they don't have the other side of being able to facilitate.
Yeah.
So it takes a certain type of a human, I guess, to do both.
Well, that's interesting to me that you say that because I think it does. Historically, it's always been a partnership, right? You get the one good art guy and the one good, the Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak.
Correct.
You got to have that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But these days with social media, like the kids they can do it all with one brain. My brain is still like the left brain and the right brain. We'll talk, we'll pass each other in shift changes, and that's about it. They don't really work well together.
No.
How do you deal with that? Because you're running a business and running creative brand all the time.
Number one is I have incredible staff. Okay.
Support system.
Support system. That rally for our greater cause. That's number one, and it's my duty to make sure that they are happy in doing what they want to do and being able to push this forward because it's that. Okay. The other part is understanding the place and time. I think I have been lucky enough to be afforded that ability to read the room. Okay, so I remember, this was crazy. Okay, when 5 years undergrad, 2 years of grad, both in architecture school. Every semester, you do 2 big presentations. So I was a shy little kid, didn't speak. I was a quiet, and then architecture school brought me to life. And I remember my last presentation at grad school before going into the real world, right? And I did it. It killed it. And I remember I had I slept that night and thinking, am I a good salesperson or am I a good designer?
Ooh.
And it was scary because I was like,
you asked yourself that?
Yes. Yes.
Inner dialogue.
Inner dialogue was like, oh shit, I'm about to graduate Harvard, but who am I? Because now it's the real world. And I basically came to the conclusion that I've been gifted this talent, but I can only sell what I'm passionate about. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm good at those 2 things, but I won't be able to sell a pile of shit.
Right.
Like I won't. So that's it. And that's when I realized I was like,
basically
that's why.
You're defining authenticity, right?
Yes,
it's like you're following your passion and then you're just being authentic with it and
With
sharing it. Yeah. And then therefore like the tether just opens up and you're a pipeline.
Yep. And I think people read it really quickly and they see it, they get into the room, they're like, oh my God, let's either they get the energy or I guess they're afraid of the energy. I don't know.
Oh, I could see that.
I've had that.
Is it because where does this confidence come from?
Correct.
We can't see it on the page. How can he see it in his head?
Yeah. Man, we're working on this other project, and I'm not going to mention how it all happened, but somebody asked me, can you visualize that for me? Can you do like a rendering? I was like, it's here. I don't have time to spend a week creating a rendering in order to sell you this.
Yes.
That's one of the hardest things.
It's hilarious. I'm dealing with that right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. Studio spaces. I'm building podcast spaces for other people, and it's the same thing. It's what you do on like the 1% scale. Like it's odd because I'm not good at it. I see what's in here. You either trust me or you don't. I've always been very lucky in my career to be able to be with people who are like, we know you and they trust you, and so just all right, go for it. We'll tell you if we don't like it.
So what's interesting as my career is growing, there's 2 paths. I have the path of the client that is totally came to DBA to get that and like whatever you say. And then I have the other path was they came, but they question and they question and they question, and you're sitting in the room and you're like, wow, why am I here?
If you're not going to take my expertise, why am I here?
Yes.
If you don't recognize that I am an expert on this level, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah. And
sounds like every episode of Jeff Lewis.
Yes, and this is the Playset, and all of a sudden my architecture is becoming their Playset.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't okay. We're not shifting things. Like, there's a vision. There's a recipe, and you can't mess with it.
Yeah.
So
I like what you did here. We were just going to change these
maybe
3
a
or
little
4
bit.
things.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then it's funny because we're sitting in one of these spaces, and the client came back and was like, "Oh, maybe we should add this." And I'm like, "Do you remember I had that?" Oh yeah. So I never said that way though.
Right, of course.
I
But where does he think the idea came from?
Absolutely. How do I get my original idea back into here? I don't care. I don't care about the synthesis of it.
Right,
But
and your ego isn't driving
I don't
anymore.
care. Like, I really don't fucking care. Like, there's certain, and I've recognized that some jobs, yeah, they'll let you just run with it, and some jobs you just can't, and that's the game. Just play with it and let it roll.
You're a good people person, though, I find. I feel that you, well, I mean, at least I've always seen you with people. I feel like you, I don't know, you just interact well.
Thank you.
That's got to come in handy.
Very handy, but I would say that COVID fucked me.
Desocialized you? It desocialized a lot of us.
Yeah.
We were all in our houses, not around people. Also, the people have changed. Like
You think maybe that's what it is?
Well, yeah, but everyone
It's
blames
both.
everyone else.
Okay.
For this, so it's the
Yeah.
result is the same.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
So like the people, the being good at being around people takes energy, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, but it's how I get business too.
Yeah. Like
But-
you have to socialize
Yeah.
in order to.
But
that was her
I'm not
role.
gonna like. I was at actually the last time I saw you was up in Angeles Crest, and I was talking to somebody up there, and they started arguing with me about something, and I was like, I know I'm fucking right about this. I know 100%. Obviously, there's no internet there. We talked about that, and I just walked away. I would never walk away.
Who argues at Good Vibes? What the hell? What were they? Was it like an architectural or like
no,
a car
no,
thing?
it was a car thing. It was a car thing, and
Oh, like this has a 2.7. No, it's got a
something
2.4.
like that.
I'll
Something-
prove it.
Something,
Oh, okay.
something like that, and like I mean, I
Well,
I was
know-it-alls
par-
are everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And I was, at the time I was partnering with BMW, and they were talking about something, and I was like, I know for fucking fact you're wrong. You're so wrong.
Yeah.
And I just walked away.
Well, besides being a collector of BMWs,
Yeah,
you have a great relationship with BMW
Yeah, I was
NA.
like, I'm not gonna even go there. And I was like, okay. And it's funny. I texted my friend, and he's like, well, his profession is this. I'm like, I know, I get it. I'm walking away.
Oh, I see. There was some qualification with the actual person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I see.
And probably that person didn't know who I was, and looked at this as like, oh, this is a dweeb that drove up in his, E30 or whatever. Yeah.
Was it a holiday weekend? Was it one of the big? Was it a really
I don't
big-
remember, actually.
Because I find that most people aren't like that at Good Vibes, and that's one of the things that makes it kind of cool.
That makes it a good vibe.
Straight up. Okay.
Straight up.
Fine. Well done. Well done.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah. It just kind of the
It is,
pop,
and that's
the,
why people keep wanting to come back, and that's the reality.
the pop the hood and show off
Show
what
it-
you got thing is not really like
no, and that's why I love about it. And the only thing we got to work on, and we talked about it, we got to get. I need just internet. I just need to be able to send.
See
a
the
text.
rest. I know the rest of us will never have that. That's why we like it.
I know.
Like even if we bought that place, it wouldn't have
Internet.
public internet. Yeah, like we'd give it to you for your business
Sure.
or whatever.
I
But
just
like,
need to
it
be able
wouldn't
to
be
send-
out there for everybody.
Here's the thing: I need to be able to send like 3 or 4 texts while I'm up there, and I could chill. If I can't do that, I can't come up.
I know.
So it makes it really hard, and I get it.
Do you have the new iPhone? It's got the SOS.
SOS.
On
Oh
it.
my God, that'll be amazing.
Because ours shows up the
No, the
moment we
door
hit the
needs to
crest.
be a 3'6". Yeah, that'll be amazing. SOS that shit. Be like, sir, what's your emergency? Architectural.
Do you know I'm part of this exclusive club? It took
Yeah,
me 3 years to get in.
Hey, do you know this? This is a real emergency. We're putting terrazzo in right now. I need to tell about the substrate. Hello?
I need the hotline straight to the mayor, please.
Actually, I have a good one. I have another good little story. Okay, so in order to get licensed as an architect, when I did it, we had an oral exam. And,
What?
And they've changed that since because of litigation, unfair, blah, blah, blah. Now it's a multiple choice exam. Okay, so get this. It was strange because they rented a hotel, and you would go into a hotel suite, which is also weird, and you're with yourself and 3 people who would interview you. And they each go a question. The only thing you could do is ask them to repeat the question. Okay, that's it.
Like
so
a
I had
spelling bee or something.
kind of, and and each answer was a multiple length like answer, like A, B, C, and a long time, and you can only repeat yourself, and they would go next. I had this one guy who kept asking me a question. He had a really thick accent. I couldn't fucking understand what he said. I'm like, could you please repeat it again? And he tried, and he please repeat it again, and then finally the next guy said it.
Said what the other guy.
Yes, and that was unorthodox, but it's also unfair, right?
That's I feel like that's a trick.
Of course. Anyway, but then I played with them because then it came to a question. I just had no fucking idea. And I said, can I go ask the audience?
Oh, like a millionaire.
Yeah, and
Genius.
they're like, what?
I want a 50-50.
Yeah, and then I did 50-50. They didn't get it. I'm like, forget it, pass.
I'm a friend.
Because, I wanted to have fun with it. At that point, I knew I had no idea about that answer. None. And I passed. And that's why I am an architect.
But it was a multiple choice, right?
No, it wasn't a multiple choice.
Oh, crap.
No, it was the oral exam, and that's when I tried to go 50-50, phone a friend.
Sorry,
ask
and they
the
just
audience.
weren't.
They just were so nerdy that they had never even had the reference of that.
Talk about dry.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying to have fun
Crickets
with you guys.
and wind, nothing.
Nothing. Let me tell you, nothing. That was a moment in my life.
Irene Hoffman was right. I was right. She does know Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey was dry. Yes, he was very dry.
What else?
Jay Franz says that's a crazy process talking about you and getting into that situation. Irene Hoffman, love the Bridge House, DB Bridge House.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm guessing she probably looked it up while we were sitting here.
Hope so.
Are you doing tours now?
So
I don't mean to the public.
Yeah,
I mean,
no. We did do like freeze events. This year we didn't for art freeze. We did like events for them last year and the year before. We've done a lot of events at the house.
Yeah.
And
launches. You've done car launches there.
Yeah. We've done that. Now it's been kind of quiet and kind of digging it. But
does it feel like your home space, or is it more of a commercial space that you live in?
It's my home.
Great.
It's my home, and I knew it was gonna. This your home.
Yeah, it's weird how that works, isn't it? The live work space
Kind of thing,
Because it was designed with that intention, like even for us a little bit, you especially. Somehow it does make it a little bit easier.
As long as you know that that's what it's going to be, I'm fine with it. So I have no problem with it. I enjoy the activity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Here's how I think about it. It may be lofty, but I try to think about it in like 30 years time, 50 years time. People will be able to say, I was at that event at Bridge House that this happened in.
True.
When we tour some of the great, like, Pierre Koenig or Neutra houses or whatever, the docent who gives you the tour says, this happened here. And this. So, good vibes. I just want to be able to have that as part of that home and how it lives as part of the legacy. So, it's not only about the design, it's about what the embodiment of the people that were there present at that time.
The experiences they all,
Absolutely.
yes, that's very Eames. That's all Eames.
So I want to be able to have those events. I want to be able to share it. So a lot of people are like, wow, this is your personal space. How do you... It wasn't never my personal space.
Right. That's what I mean. The intention was this from
always
the beginning.
that I have one area in the back of the house that's my bedroom. But also everything else, it's fine. It's not as if I have like intruders, like.
Anyone you invite there is an appreciator of. Yeah.
Correct. And now we're starting that again. So I'm having more and more people like here's what I love to do is young photographers, young designers.
Ooh.
They
turn them loose, let them see what they find.
Correct.
I love that.
So if they reach out to me, I'll find a time to meet with them.
Great.
I'll check a look at their little Instagram thing, whatever they got, and I always say to them, come over. You want to bring your car to photograph here? No problem. You want to bring your piece of furniture? No problem. Your models,
sculpture, whatever it is, yeah.
No problem. Because it only extends the story, and I feel like paying it forward. It's doing it without money. Mm-hmm. It's being able to give somebody an opportunity, which I think is the most important thing to give somebody.
Huge.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, I remember, a friend of mine gave me, so in order to realize Bridge House, we had 75 different sponsors. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and that's when I learned what it is to be a producer, by the way, and how I tip my hat off and be like, holy shit, you rock my world.
I remember this conversation. You were talking about plate spinning and all the different things, all the balls in the air.
It's insane. So we had a partnership with Yamaha, and my friend is an artist, James Jean, was contacted by the marketing department there, and I got a call from Thomas at Yamaha, and he said, go downstairs, there's a Pelican case, something in there for you. I'm like, great. We talked about a record player. It was supposed to be a Bluetooth connected record player. And I open it up, and this was like a week before opening party. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is like art. It's James Jean's art on the record player. I started to cry. And why I cried is because if somebody takes their time to give to you, that is the most precious thing you could do. And as another creative, I see that he gave that time.
Yes.
And I remember calling him. I was like, James, like, what is this?
Right.
And he's like,
It's
"Did you
not
see
just
the
a
cover?"
gift.
Yeah, it's the time.
Yeah.
And it was just so between
I saw you
those,
look at this when you said that. Pinstripe Chris did this. It was a regular Luft toy that you can buy anywhere, but
And
he
it
took
co-
the time to
to
do
make-
all of this, which is
that's it.
so many hours worth of work.
Yeah. So I love people who are able to do that. And I recognize that my time is precious too. And so if I could give somebody that hour and then give somebody that more time to use at their house, go.
Wow.
So I love that. I love that. And I recognize that I was given opportunities at a very young age by certain clients who are just like, you go to town, you have fun. And I was like, okay, let's see the next generation. Let's see what they could do. It's also very telling right now with this FIA to see the people who have congratulated me and the people who have stayed silent.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
Oh God, it's got to be such a because it's your peer group, and then there's
Yes.
there's jealousies and there's competition and hierarchy and
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing this longer. How come he got it first? And
Oh,
blah
yeah.
blah blah blah
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
can write that story.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
It's a bummer. Can't everyone just be happy for everyone? Like, there's enough to go around. When it
not.
comes to success, everybody
enough
could
to
be.
go around.
Why don't you spend some of the effort that you put into being upset about somebody
Yeah.
else's success
Yeah.
into your own success, and then all of a sudden you can be successful too, and then you could be just as happy as
Correct.
the other guy,
Correct.
and then everyone's happy.
Absolutely.
It takes
Absolutely.
maybe, is that a maturity thing? Because I didn't have that when I was younger.
I don't know. I think people can grow into that maturity, but I think it's built within. And I think it's the same thing. I think it's very...
It's gotta come from somewhere though, right? Because I didn't have it when I was younger, but I with all of my soul feel that way now.
Then you've
Or
got
maybe
yourself self-fulfilled, and you're not threatened.
That is true.
And you've fulfilled yourself through actual accomplishments. I always say that, I don't know the meaning of life, but I think it's being creative. And I don't mean it by being artistic. I mean by creating something. You have to create.
Moments, anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Something. You can't just bring in dollar bills and take out the dollar bills to buy something.
Right.
And so to me, I think one of the most... Okay, so when I got started on Instagram, it was the same time as started collecting cars. And I started making all these friends, and seeing all these cars. And now I cringe. I look at someone, I'm like, that's all you got to show? Your paint to sample, whatever and ever, and like this and that. Like, what have you done? Show me, what is it that you do? Are you to people or to anything? Like, what do you do? And I'm so bored. I'm so bored. When I just see that, I'm like, just another shit, just another shit, just another shit. I'm like, who cares? Like, really, who cares? Like, and by the way, you're in LA. You're going to buy a GT2. There's somebody's going to have a GT2 RS. Somebody's going to have a GT2 RS. Somebody's going to have a GT2 RS YSAC package. Somebody's going to have the YSAC package with the PTS. Like, fuck off.
You can't win.
You
It's-
can't.
it's
If
this.
that's the game you're playing, you're going to be so sad.
Yeah.
You're going to be so fucking miserable.
So what you're saying, and I think I've noticed this too, is that Instagram basically has sort of become like everybody sort of replicates what the influencers do,
Yes.
right? So everything is just
Yes.
yeah.
It's boring. And those people aren't at good vibes. I could tell you that for sure.
I don't know. It's weird because like the
Are
people
they
who
joining?
the people who no, I don't know. I don't know who you mean even, but I mean like the real influence. I mean like I don't know, the car influencers anyway are for sure up there.
Yeah.
And then they somehow find a way to keep it authentic because they all really do something. And I think that's
That's
your
my
point.
point.
They're
They're doing
actual
something.
journalists. They're
Correct.
either take pictures.
Correct.
Video
They're doing
reviews.
something. You got to do something. If I look at, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You sound like Russell. We've got to do something.
If I look at the Instagram or your existence in life, I shouldn't say your Instagram, and it's just about buying shit.
Oh, that's no substance. I see what you're saying.
I'm
The most
talking about.
expensive
Just
shit.
buying shit. Buying shit and just sharing shit. And it's just...
I call that like the whole Abu Dhabi effect. Like it was like 10 years ago, it was let's just customize expensive cars and trash them in the desert. Basically
Oh, God.
just throwing
Hold
away
on,
money.
what is this now too?
And
now,
you know,
spit
the cars
no.
and all that.
I saw just now somebody who just thrashes interiors of cars. I want to kill them. Like it pisses me off.
They do what?
Maybe I'm
Like it's a
getting
video
fed this.
channel,
There's
or-
video like I see like on my feed, and it's like somebody who's like, "Let me show you how to turn off the reset light on your Audi." He cuts the steering wheel,
Oh,
and then takes a hammer
no.
and breaks it. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
there is a lot of that destructive
like,
behavior on YouTube.
I'm so rich I could just destroy shit. That's the next level.
Well, I always said the baller move is to buy a singer and then send it to Rox Motorsports to have it distressed and patinaed.
Oh my god. No, it's
Because that's where we're at. Like, we'll get
It is.
buy a $750,000 Gunther Works and then send it to the guy in
make it
New
look like
York
it's old.
for $250,000 to just make it, trash it, and then I'll drive it.
Oh my god. I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
I
know.
just-
We got to find. I don't know.
But that's what they're doing
Because
because
find
it's the
bigger
pendulum.
meaning. We
back
got to
and
find a
forth.
bigger meaning on things. That's my thing.
I agree with you if we're fighting for this world. I think a lot of people have totally succumbed to like, oh yeah, it's just going to be Mad Max in 5 years, so I'll just get a lift kit on my car and stop paying my taxes.
Yes.
And
No, I have
whatever.
No, I know people like that.
Me too.
They just don't give a fuck.
They are pretty convinced it's over, and they're
Correct.
like, in 5 years you'll see, or at
They're
the
like,
election
why
you'll
do you
see.
care? Why do you care about this? Why do you care? I'm like, why do I care? I'm like,
Because we're still trying to keep it together.
Hell yeah, I want to keep it together. I care about people. I care about the earth. I care about. Why would I do what I do?
Create.
Like, honestly, like, I wouldn't do this. This is not an easy profession. Like, if we did like a blog of what happens from morning to day, from starting DBA 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, how interesting would it be?
It's hell. I mean, and then there's moments. You know what we've done? Actually, one of the most beautiful things, we do win of the week now, and we write down on our board things that we've been successful at.
Oh, this is a great idea. It's like
It's a
good
fucking
news.
everybody should do this.
It's like good news.
Yes, you know why everybody should do this? I don't know about you, but when I come to New Year's, the only thing, and maybe it's because I'm a perfectionist, I don't know, maybe it's my personality type, all I start to think about is everything that I didn't do. And it's awful. Instead of just looking at it being like, look at everything I had.
And being grateful for
But
the
look at everything
accomplishments.
that has happened to me. So what we're doing is, imagine at the end of the year if you could flip through 52 amazing things that have happened to you during that year. That's a gift. That's better than any Dom Perignon and better than any sparkler bottle and anything in the world. You have 52 things to look at that your friends and you have done that nobody can take away
You've
from.
created a new way to celebrate the new year. Instead of like Old Lang Syne and this is how we're going to be different next year.
Yeah.
You have created a new way.
wasn't
Let's
me,
be
it was somebody
reflective
in my
and,
office,
grateful.
actually, Sasha.
The Sasha and
Yeah.
the DBA team, I'll
Yeah.
say. I think this is really
And
great.
we do it. We just love it. We just look at it and like, who's gonna get like.
Do you have to compare notes to get whatever the week's good
We
news
just
will
say
be,
it.
or
We
does
blurt
everyone
it out.
have?
We blurt it out. Like we just sit in there and we're like.
So it
this
could be
just
multiple
happened.
things.
Definitely. It's not a competitive thing. I
There's
don't
not.
wanna
It's not employee of the month. There's one good moment of the
There's no
week.
employee of the month. There's no such thing. I don't want to. It's again. It's to the greater cause. We're doing something because we love what we do. It's not. Nobody's gonna win a trophy. It's not about who got the better win. It's just to be able to say at the end of the year, all of us could enjoy this, sit down with our meal, and say, "Look at all the great things we've done." That's
Dude.
it. That's it. It's not. There's only one person I'm competitive with. That's me.
Yeah, me too.
That's it.
Me too, and a bunch of dead guys that I still celebrate and
Really?
love. And
Yeah.
I mean, aren't you the same way?
I mean, I love them. I don't know if I'm competitive with them. Like
I consider them my only competition. Like
Correct.
when other people go,
or
oh, what about other
aspiration. I
podcasts
think
who are?
aspiring to be.
I guess, but my point is like I don't compare myself to other people who are
Correct.
currently doing the same medium. I compare
That
myself
would be
to
a
people
mistake.
who
Yes.
agreed, but other people
And that's a
do
waste of
just
time.
that. Other people only
Correct.
they sit around watching other people's shit, and
Waste
then
of
their
time.
shit turns into other people's
Just
shit.
shit. Yeah, I agree.
You know how the Jay Leno show was always kind of like a little bit of all the other shows? Jay watched all the other shows, so
Correct.
it's impossible to not be influenced.
Of course. Actually, it's interesting.
I'm not it's not a
No,
negative.
no.
on
I get it. It's. I used to write songs. Used to play. Used to have a band. Blah blah blah. And my friends also ask me. It's like, you take like music theory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons I didn't take music theory is to not have that effect. To not have the effect of like, oh, I got the C sharp minor. I got the DA7. Now I got to put in this, and it's bam. And it becomes this like formula.
There's a formulaic,
It's
absolutely.
formulaic, right? So
Well, you lose. Blues is this.
correct.
Jazz is that. Like
Correct.
they have all these different forms,
Correct.
and it's not true.
It's not.
The best music is a little bit of
It's
all
a little
those
bit of
things.
everything. Yeah, and it just kind of, I don't know, and it's I don't even have that many like stringent rules within our office. Like I don't have like, I don't have a formula. There's certain things that yes, I go into the room and I'm like, well, we got to do this and this and this and this. And what I tell the staff is always it's about editing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about editing, and it's about what my mantra is to say, your idea. It's not that your idea is bad. it just doesn't belong here right now. Keep it in that same book of 52 greatest hits of the year.
Right.
And we're going to use it, just not right now.
Yeah.
And it's okay, you know, so it's
Good idea, not the right application.
correct. And it's about being at the right place at the right time.
Life.
Yeah.
Do your people come to you that way? Is that why you hire them, or do they sort of learn your ways and sort of
I think it's a combination
osmosis?
of both.
Okay.
Combination of both. Okay, so the other one, greatest hits, Julia in the office. You know, she came from a large firm, one of the biggest firms in the world. Okay, and I interviewed her during COVID, and I think, you know, we tested each other during the Zoom interviews, and she was trying to see, like, what is the mantra of the office? Am I gonna jive with, you know, changing from a 200-person office to small boutique firm?
Mm-hmm.
And so for sure that she was able to feel the authenticity or whatever I'm selling, whatever I'm talking about, join the team. And it was amazing. There wasn't ever like how do we fit this into what we've got going on? I think I hope what she realizes as the time went on is that it is what it is. You don't have to worry about, oh, is Peter going to now try to stick it to me?
Oh, yeah.
There's no winning.
Politics.
There's
and all
no. I just, all I want is for all of us to work together to be able to complete something. I told them last week, you know, they were sitting together at the computer, and I said, "This is just beautiful." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "You guys are working together."
that. Yeah.
I'm like, and to me, it's like I've created that atmosphere, so I'm even more proud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are enjoying and learning from one another, from different mindsets, different personalities, different backgrounds, different.
These are new ideas.
These are new ideas that you
because
guys
of
are
this.
coming up together without me. I don't.
You
micromanage.
cultivated it.
Thank you. Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened if you didn't.
No, so I'm
Plant the
super
seed
proud
and
of it.
water
So
that.
that's the creation. It's interesting. It's like the creation that people don't see, and I'm so happy that this is where we're leading towards, and how we're talking about this, not planned, is that you know, people look at the photographs or experience the spaces. They don't know what the ethos is of DBA.
Yeah.
And so to me, I remember I told my sister, I think I won. And it was a moment that I won, knowing the fact that I've given a safe environment to explore in. And I on purpose didn't use a work environment. I gave a safe environment for us, a studio, whatever you want to call it, environment for us to work in. And we're creating the world's best architecture. So I'm not the Steve Jobs. I admire Steve Jobs, but I don't think you got to squeeze the living shit out of somebody in order to get the best out of them.
Oh, that was yeah.
It's hard to read in that, right? But he believes that.
I know. There were so many parts, like in those books and everything. Parts of him I agreed with, so like I just aligned with
Yeah,
so
me
much.
too.
And then there's some of that competition, but two teams so that they can. I'm like,
No, that's manipulative.
But I understand it is manipulative. But apparently that was in his nature as well.
I know that. To me, it's more, I believe in the leadership, in inspiring, giving somebody a safe place to be able to say, I have an idea, and not feel like shut down if it does get shut down.
Not
because
be
it does.
Afraid to bring up their
Afraid.
ideas.
I don't care. I never think I chose to work with you. I'm not going to all of a sudden be like, oh, you're an idiot. And people do that. I'm like, then why'd you hire that person?
Right.
Fire them.
Yeah.
If
it's not a match.
Yes. If Stevie comes into the room and he says a stupid idea, that moment, Stevie should be gone. Because in your eyes, you didn't.
So long, Stevie.
So long, sucker. Yeah.
How are your cars? Switching gears. How are your
Amazing.
cars?
Amazing.
Still all red?
No, I actually pulled a fast one.
All right. What do we got?
Actually, it's good. It's a fast one.
Okay.
That's black.
Oh.
That should be red.
Okay. Ferrari.
Yes.
Whoa.
So that was something that happened on a whim from England.
Should be red. That's very
It
funny.
should be
It totally
red.
should
It
be red.
The only one that should be red, it's not red, and I absolutely adore it for
What did
not
you
being-
get?
It's a 550.
Oh my God, a
it's
Maranello.
stuck,
What
yeah.
year?
97.
First year?
Second year.
Second year.
Second year.
Cool.
And it's a special interior because it's tan, but tan in black.
Oh,
so
I like the
bottom
two-tone.
is black, and most of them are all tan inside.
Agreed. And then are your seats two-tone as well then?
No,
With
no.
Okay.
Very. It's like no. It doesn't have the. It's not
You
the
know what I
Daytona
mean.
seats. I
Yeah,
know
the
what you mean.
Daytona seats.
No, it doesn't have that. It's a weird feeling to to get in it.
6-speed?
6-speed.
Gated 6-speed. I
Gated
remember
6-speed.
that. Paul Moyer, remember him on the radio? I mean, on the news. He was the Channel 4 guy. He used to
Paul
park,
Moyer, yes,
he used to
yes.
park next to Jay Leno, and he had a Maranello
No
silver that
way.
he would bring in like once a week.
Was it red?
Silver with red interior. Silver with red interior.
That's beautiful too.
Yeah, it was.
No, that thing is basically I was able to get an incredible deal.
It's a good time to buy that car.
It was
people.
it
the
was
550s
when
and the 575s are on the climb right now.
The pound was weak, the dollar was strong. Right, left-hand drive in
Cool.
England.
Oh, cool.
So the people there are dumb in the fact that they don't realize that you could just drive it to France and sell it there for as a normal car. They're like, "Oh no, this car is no good." So it has a lower price because it's the wrong spec for them.
But it's so weird how it's all confusing. So it's a left-hand drive, but it would be a kilometer car then
Kilometer.
instead of a right-hand drive
Correct, 'cause
mile
the
per hour car
started-
like
the car
England
started
would
in
be.
Belgium. It's
Okay.
a Belgian car that ended up in England. And just drive
That's
it back
not too far. That's easy. I mean,
Correct, just drive it back to Belgium and sell it there.
that's what I'm thinking. What's the problem?
They're dumb.
Well, whatever. It worked out for you.
It worked out for me. So it was just like this mini opportunity that all of a sudden, like a friend of mine was like, "Look at this." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "This can't be right."
It probably cost you $4 or $5 grand to ship it.
That's it. I mean, and I already figured that out. You know, I imported the G320, the Mercedes.
So you'd already been through it.
I've
It
been
was just
through it.
more because of COVID, probably.
Yeah, a little bit. Even though that same guy, he hooked me up.
Oh, good.
So I had like the everything worked out.
How long did it take, port to port?
4 months. Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. But who cares? It's not as if it's your daily driver.
No, you're right. I
It's-
just
Yeah, you're
when
just waiting.
When I shipped
Actually-
the time machine across country, I think it was like 10 days or something like that.
No, so
might have been 2 weeks.
Okay, so when I did the G320, I actually didn't know what I'm gonna get. I didn't know when it's gonna get there, if it's gonna get. I was terrified because it was the
First time.
First time trying everything. So like they drove it, got it to the port, and I'm like looking up the port ID. I'm like looking up the boat IDs. I'm like looking up everything. I'm like, what do you mean it's there? They're like, well, it's not there. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like following it. I'm like, what do you mean it's in Oakland? Why don't you get it down? Like it was crazy, and I wasn't trusting it.
No, I'd be losing my shit.
Losing my shit, and then the truck driver, his truck broke. Local trucks, they always break down. It's crazy.
Because it comes into New Jersey, but then you've got to get it across
No.
the country.
It came to Oakland.
Oh, good. Okay.
It came to Oakland, but the Oakland to LA, he's like, my truck broke down. I'm like, my truck broke down? I'm like, this can't be. And it arrived. And the same thing kind of happened with the Ferrari. And it was
you
COVID.
used the same guy.
I used the same guy. No, but it was COVID that scared me, right? So it got held. I forgot. It got held.
Oh, held up someplace.
No. They told me they can't get it to LA, to Long Beach. So they're gonna get it to Oakland. That was original. That was supposed to be.
Okay.
And then it sat in Long Beach for like 3 weeks.
So it did go to Long Beach.
It did go to Long Beach, but they can't unload it in Long Beach.
Beyond that, they couldn't get into the. Do you remember how badly? Like we
So-
took a drive down there, and you could
see
see
them.
all of the tankers out there,
So-
like 30, 40 of them.
I downloaded like this app that tracks the tankers.
Oh, perfect.
And I saw it going like ding, 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 ding. I'm like, come on.
Basically, I think for whatever reason, they weren't allowing them into port. So it was
course.
like the airliners, like, just keep circling,
Keep
circling.
circling.
Like, to just have to stay
Correct.
out there.
Correct. And it just kept circling, and circling. And then
And I don't think you can
arrived.
just turn those boats off in the middle of so they literally had to just keep,
Oh, that's interesting.
it's not like,
Could you imagine? Then you call AAA, be like, get that thing started.
it's not like,
can't do that.
it's like a shark. It kind of needs to constantly
Kinda
be in
move. I didn't even
motion
think
because of the
about that.
generators and everything
Correct.
else. It's
Yeah.
pumping water through it and whatever.
Yeah, so that terrified me, and no, it arrived, and I knew it was gonna be fine. There was a slight issue with the delivery. The local driver, like, the seat breaker broke or something, and
Power seat.
it moved all the way forward, and it looked like gorillas walked through my car. Like there was like handprint. I'm like, what are you doing? And so, but the guy was good. He took care of it. They cleaned it all.
Oh.
They detailed it. They got it
Oh.
worked out. They sorted it. Everything is
Happily
fine.
ever after.
Happily ever after.
Luigi follow only the Ferrari.
Oh,
So do we still have the BMWs?
yes.
Do we still have the Porsches?
Yes.
And we added a Ferrari.
Yes.
All right, so
It's too many cars.
E36 for sure. Didn't you get an E30 as
Yes.
well? E30, E36. Did you get an
993.
E46? No. Okay, so only the E36 is in the BMW, right?
No. We have an E36 and an E30.
But that's as new as you went, right?
That's as new as I went.
Okay, so there we are. And now BMW. I mean, excuse me, now Porsche.
911. I mean, G50.
G-body,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. And 993.
Okay.
All those are red. So those are from the Red or Dead collection.
Yep.
Right? So it's 80s and 90s.
They're all almost the same shade of red, too.
They are. Yes.
Right?
Except for the E30
The Hellrot
is
is-
Zinner Barat. The other ones are Hellrot. Hellrot and Guards Red. Hellrot and Guards Red are very similar. I mean, if you photograph it, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it depends on your paint person.
Correct.
Whether it's orangey or red,
Correct.
depending on how it's,
And
cut.
I still dying to do a photo. I need to do like the Red or Dead.
All of them together?
All of them together.
At the Bridge House.
Somewhere. I don't know where. I need a good location to just like.
Let's just do them there so we don't have to drive them. That's a lot of cars.
Yeah. And then the two Mercedes,
Yep.
the E320, W124 Cabrio, this is how it all started, by the way. So a friend of mine from Germany he lived in Sweden. He looked on Craigslist. I found the car. And I was like, 10 grand for this? I was like, what? Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is insane. I'm like, you could buy this for 10 grand?
Because it's weird, quirky, cool.
Yes. I mean, they were $90,000 cars in 1996, and 10 grand, they're still worthless. Like, it's crazy. I think they're worth 20 today or something.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
They were weird and quirky then. They're weird and quirky now.
Now, but what happened? I don't understand. Car valuation is strange, but that's how.
Well, certain cars just plummet. Those G bodies, I mean, the G wagons for always. It's a cool car.
Correct.
It's super awesome. You don't buy it new unless you're like it's a total write-off somehow.
Correct. Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's 120. Well, you just said 90 grand in 96.
Yeah. And I actually with the G320, when I bought it, it was like total steel also. And this guy I know here that
You have the two-door
the two-door.
and the
I love it. And I had so much fun like modifying the hell out of it. It was a lot of fun.
But it's the most Jeep of all of them.
Correct.
It's the most like a Wrangler.
Correct. It's a Jeep. It's such an amazing daily driver. I can't even tell you.
Is that what you drive every day?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's so great.
That's so cool.
It's because it's tiny.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
the width of an E30. It's about the length of an E30. In plan, it's the same size.
It's just higher.
It's just
up.
higher. And it takes the shitty roads that we have here.
Yeah.
And you could just do like, that U-turn. You're just like parking everywhere. You're seeing everybody.
Shortest wheelbase.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing little car.
You can see out of it. It's got a huge greenhouse in the front.
Incredible. On the highway, though, you're like, oh, my God, this thing's going to tip over.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, you hear the sound
That's
of
the
the
tire
air.
noise on all that.
It's
Yeah, this is
hell.
the least aerodynamic
The
car
least,
made.
and it's just you're like, oh god, don't turn. Friend of mine in Miami just bought one, and she's like, look at this thing I bought. I'm like, don't go too fast and turn. It will flip over. She's like,
Quickly.
what do you mean? I'm like, it will flip over. She's like, oh shit, and then I'm sure she's just like nervous as hell.
Speaking of Abu Dhabi, that was the thing that we get them
Yes.
going on the freeway and
Yes,
then get them sideways.
Just get him sideways. That thing is awesome.
And then they do the two wheels too. The Dukes of Hazzard on the two wheels with the guy hanging out.
I don't know. But and I did just order a modern one. I got
What?
Sick, yeah, I've got sick of dealing with all
A
the
new Mercedes?
no
A new what?
i4 BMW i4.
Oh, I love the
I love
i4.
that car, yeah.
I really still like the i3 and wish they still made it because
That
I
wa-
fucking
hold on,
love
that car
the i3.
Is going to be 100% collectible.
If it's
100
not now, I agree with you.
It's
People
an
will park
iconic-
them in their houses.
They should. It's an iconic car that set the tone
Change the game.
for generations to come. The materials that it used to build, the design language, and it's funny. Everybody was talking about how ugly it is. You look at so many cars. You look at a Chevy Bolt. You look at a Prius.
It all came from there.
I could show you the synthesis, the genesis of how it all came from that car.
That floating C-pillar
Yes,
thing that
everybody
everyone's
copied
doing
that.
now.
Everybody.
Everybody.
A Toyota Camry has that. Okay, and at the time when you looked at it, I'm waiting for somebody to tune them into longer range.
Yeah. Because we wanted one so bad when it was like, oh, it's $99 for the short range one, $149 for the
Correct.
long range one. We're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But the long range was still only like 200 miles.
I know.
And I don't think they ever really got 200 miles.
No, probably not. But with the batteries becoming better and better,
Put something new in there.
put something new in there.
Yeah.
Because the package is so good.
Drives
Have
great.
you driven one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
That's what
God.
made me fall in love with it. I
The
thought it
seating
was
position
neat
is-
looking, but once I drove it,
Killer.
Mm-hmm.
The seating position is like nothing else. You're just like up there. You see the road. You could just turn right away.
whenever I see one, I look
I
at it
know.
like a pretty
I
girl,
know.
like in the 60s,
know.
you know, the movies where the guys would turn their head.
I know. If they honestly, if I just wouldn't buy a used one right now.
No.
Because for the use of it, you know,
I just wish they still put them out as a lease. I would get one.
I would get one. I got in an argument with this other car guy that he was like telling me how an E39 M5 is like the best daily driver, right? And I was like,
Maybe the best BMW ever made, but I don't know if
maybe
it's the best daily driver.
Hell no, it's not the best daily driver. Anything happens to the car is $5,000.
Yeah.
It's not a daily driver. And by the way, I'm
And
sorry.
good luck
it's like-
finding another good one. Like if something does happen to it.
No, and for me, I'm sorry. This is also probably controversial to a lot of listeners, but a daily driver today is a car that does have all this autonomous crap. Because let me tell you, my mom has a 5 Series with all that shit. I drove it up to Santa Barbara. The 101 got stuck. I was loving life. I just let it do its thing, stop and go, change lanes, do all that. I'm like, that is a daily driver. For anybody that actually needs to drive, that is amazing. I want all that tech. And so no, an E39 M5 is not for me.
I agree with all that tech, but in exchange, you have to lose the driving experience, which I'm not willing to do.
You do.
We needed a cheap, inexpensive
You do.
car, and so we bought a 20-year-old Mini
I know, and I love that car.
or 15, whatever it is, a 2006 Mini. We went old because I was like,
It's fun.
That was as new as I was willing to go.
What is your
I don't want
what is your
screens.
driving on a daily basis? Or weekly basis? How much driving do you do?
Very little. Very
the
lucky.
thing.
I mean, lately it's been more because I'm consulting,
Yep,
doing different
yep.
different places. But otherwise, during the week, it's mainly medical stuff for her, which
Okay.
is the Mini, and then Fridays or the weekends with the yellow car.
So see,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
driving.
We live and work here.
I have Orange County clients. I have Project Down Arrowhead. I go out to Venice Beach. I'm driving a lot.
You're right.
So to me,
and on
that
the LA
fun-
freeways.
Okay, so hold on. Let me tell you what happened with G320. Okay, I came back from a meeting in Orange County for a hearing.
Traffic isn't a problem for that Mini either. Somehow
It's
it just
not.
kind of finds its way
No, it's
through.
finding its way. But my head gasket, everything blew on the way back. And if that happened on the way there, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's a hearing in front of a public committee.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I was like,
Where is he? This must not be important to him. Yeah.
and I was like, fuck. And it was just at that same time I looked at, like, there were some crazy deals that they're having on the I-4, and I was like,
Did you lease it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I could get this for that. I'm like, cars are actually discounted. I'm like, yes.
Not all of them, but
Not
there's
all
good
of them, but
buys
it
that
is.
you can get. Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm doing it. And I was like, for that much, it's the amount of gas that I would be paying on my G320.
Did you have to order it, or did they
I
have
ordered
one?
it.
Okay. Where
But I
from?
locked in the time. I locked it in. Like, before February 28th, they're giving basically $8,000 off the car.
Like a tax credit or something?
No, just
Just trunk money right off the car.
because it doesn't qualify for the tax credit. So BMW is like, here you go. And I got the cheapest one. That's the one that qualifies with the
Yep.
smallest engine.
Yep. The least special.
Yes. And I basically came to terms like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Old version of me would have cared. Like,
Checked
would've-
every box
Correct.
and all that. Me too.
Now I'm like, you know what? No.
All that
I-
shit's gonna break.
I don't need it. I just want this car that I could get in. By the way, little stupid shit, okay? Being able to walk into the car and just opening it up without pressing a fob and doing this. It's nice. It's fucking nice. Being able to open up the trunk by just swiping your car.
Oh, I hate
foot.
all that shit.
I
God.
love this shit. When you're coming in with a box
It
of
never
stuff,
worked. I had
it
that on the
always
M4.
works.
You swipe your foot down there. I'm like,
Didn't work?
half the time. I don't know. Maybe it was new back then.
Maybe it was new. This is so comfortable. I love it. Like I have. Man,
Oh, you already have it.
No, it's coming.
Oh.
But I
Oh.
had that feature on my previous car.
Got it.
But you come in with a box of samples
Yeah.
versus, I'm sorry, it's like, I know this sounds pedantic, but like putting it down, pressing the button, opening it up, putting
No,
it.
if you don't have to do that,
like,
your
if you
life
don't have to do
continues
it
moving.
for $500 a month, I'm not doing it. Period.
Is that what? If
That's
an
what it
i4 is $500 a month, that's
can
a
get it for
damn
$500.
good.
It's
That's
damn
that's
good.
a lot of car.
That's a lot of car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people will be like, oh, look, it's got the stupid fucking
The
grill.
grill. Honestly, the i4, it's
The i4 is pretty.
of all of them, it's the
It's
better
most-
looking
it
of
is.
the
It is.
cars.
It is. It's funny. The only regret I have is that I know next year is an update,
Oh yeah.
and
Well, that's why you got the $8,000 off though.
correct, and you know that next year they're gonna they always do this.
Make it better looking.
Yes.
Oh, is it the LCI? Then,
Yes.
Oh, then you're right.
Oh,
I don't know. The BMW is.
you don't think the LCIs are?
Depends.
Hold on. Look at
Depends.
the current 5 Series.
Their LCIs lately have been good, but in the
That-
old days when I used to buy BMWs, I often didn't like them.
I
Like
often
the
don't-
E46 I didn't think was as good looking. The
You're
E92
right.
I didn't think was as good looking.
You're right. I think you're right. I think it's I never thought about that. I mean, for me, it's funny on the
They
Porsches,
change shit
on the,
just to change it and
Correct.
sell more instead of, oh,
Correct.
the first designer did a damn good
correct,
job.
Correct. Well, that's how I feel about Point 2 on Porsches, and you know, it's
Very much agree.
like
very
your,
much agree.
Your yellow car, pretty,
Agreed.
perfect. The new bumper, not good. The lines.
It
in
could
the
have been
back-
good. They change
Why?
weird things for the sake of change.
I know.
That's a LCI
And by the way,
across
the
the
same-
board. Not into it.
The McCann, the original McCann, and then the updated McCann where they added the bar in the back. I'm like, what'd you guys do to the lights? Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like, why'd you do that? I
Yeah.
get it. You need to sell more, but I do think the current 5 Series, the updated version, the one that's now versus the one that was original, wow.
Yeah, way better.
Way better. Way better. And it doesn't feel fussy.
Somebody had the new
Up at-
M5 competition the other day up there, and it's just
a beast.
it's just good looking. Yeah.
I'm waiting for. Has somebody brought the CS yet up there?
Maybe it was the CS.
think it was
the
the
CS.
CS.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was a CS
Yep.
because it has the 4 seats and everything.
Yes.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah, that's like proper ring taxi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Again, like a stupid freaking proposition, but wow, it's an amazing car.
What does that go for? Like 150?
Yeah, probably 200 though.
200 now. Yeah. Oh, with the market. Yeah.
Market adjustment. The screw you.
Which store did you buy your BMW from?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Do you have a deal with them?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you're right there.
Yeah, no, I know the dealer there and all
Nice.
that. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. So I'm excited. It's crazy. I'm excited to get a really simple new car.
Yeah.
And to take
to
this-
go with your fleet of old classics.
No, no. I mean, it got to the point where I don't want to be stranded.
Yeah.
And it's the head gasket thing has happened to me 3 times now.
Different cars.
Different cars.
Yeah. How are you driving? What are you doing to these things?
Nothing. I mean, it's interesting. This engine is known to happen.
Yeah.
It's like at 80,000 miles or whatever. This one has even less than that.
The Mercedes
Yes.
3.2.
Yeah, it's known to happen. And I'm like,
It's a V6, right? It's
Inline
not
6.
Inline
this is
6.
before the V6. The
Okay.
V6, I think they fixed it.
Got it. Okay.
Probably they added the electronic problems, but this one they.
But their V8s were always strong. It's the
Correct.
the smaller
Yeah.
ones. Okay.
Yeah, but they fixed it. We'll see.
Hey, producer Mike up there, we've been yammering. Do you have anything for Dan? You into art or design or any of this stuff?
Well, I'll tell you this. I always dreamt about getting a 2-door G-Wagon, so that's fantastic that you have that.
He's got a very cool Mercedes
My dad
that
drove
you
a
would be
Scout.
into. Oh, sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say my dad drove a Scout for the first 20 some odd years of my life. That's what I learned how to drive on. And the 2-door G-Wagons always reminded me of the Scout, just like the new Bronco reminds me, the two-door Bronco reminds me of the Scout. So that's a great character choice for a daily driver. I love that. Much respect from me on that, man.
Thank you.
He has not only the new Bronco on order, it's been on order for like 11 months, but he just got his window sticker the other day, so it must be happening soon. But he's got, it was the Mercedes SL, it's the AMG before AMG was AMG.
Oh, wow.
So go ahead, Mike. What's it called?
W129? No.
I have, yeah, it's an R129. I have the 1990 SL60.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Isn't that a special
That
car?
is something. SL, which color is that?
I think it's midnight blue. I think is what it's called. It's the dark blue.
Wow.
With the
Yeah.
camel interior, the brown interior, or black?
No, it's got a black interior.
Black interior.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
cool, right?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I could actually, in my mind, I could already see the engine bay. It's beautiful with all the valve covers. Oh man, it's a stunning car.
He wants to have the car sent down here to have it completely
Gone
redone.
through?
Well, no, like completely restored. Like he wants to
Wow.
spend like $100 grand on it. Just give it to a shop for a year and do your magic kind of thing.
Wow. 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 I love that thing. That's a beast. You
love
imported
it too.
you imported that yourself?
No, I got it from a client of mine who was he used to be the Western Canada Mercedes-Benz something, and he had it. And he knew I loved the R129 SL. And so he said, hey, come here, I want to show you something, and pulled me back into the garage. And he had like all these weird cars. Like he had an old Firebird police car and some of these other
Cool.
things. And then I look and see this R129. I'm looking at it, but the stance is a little bit weird on it. And then I go around and it's got this weird spoiler that I had never seen before. And I saw the badging SL60. I was like, oh my God. And it's got like a stock back seat, like that little area.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah,
could
I know
never
it.
fit a human. Yeah. It's
Wow.
it's a pretty cool car. And I mean, I haven't had it on the road for a couple of years, but I literally own my dream car, and one day it'll come out and it'll get every seal will be changed, every piece of rubber will be replaced, and I'll
boy.
have it brand new again.
It's pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah.
What's the name? It has a name for like a what do people call that? Like, you know how the 930 is the Widowmaker. Isn't
it
there a
have a
name
name?
for that car?
The SL60. I don't know if there is. I think the SL67 or something like that. Because what they did was with mine, it was a V8 bored out from a 5-liter to a 6-liter.
Right.
That same year or a couple years later, the SL73. That one has a name, I think. I don't know if mine does.
Got it. Okay. Still so stinking cool.
It's so cool.
I love that car.
That's legit. That's legit. I had a model of that car. Like I built like a little thing of that.
The Revell model or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think from a rarity standpoint, like that's actually way cooler to me than an actual AMG because of the heritage and the lineage.
For sure. No, that was before.
That's what made it's such a big deal now. They're part of Mercedes, right?
Correct. But that generation never had an actual AMG.
Right.
They only had AMG package to make them look like it, but they never had the engine, never had anything
but
out of AMG.
Even though they were technically, right? Because they went there and it was bored out and it was all done.
No. I'm saying like whatever was sold as there was the SL500. There was never an SL.
Oh.
That the R129 never got a true
designation.
Correct.
Yes.
You could go to AMG and get it done, but Mercedes AMG never made a.
It wasn't until years later that it was an official partnership.
The model afterwards got it. But I think at that year, the partnership had already started. I think they had already had like E55 that were AMGs, just not the R129, if I believe.
That makes sense.
I think so. Yeah, and I
So
love that
cool.
car. It's funny because I think every now and then I'm like, should I sell the W124, the Cabrio, to exchange it for one of those? Not like his special as his, but...
No, but in my mind, that's the good-looking SL. Like that
That's
to me
the
is
best
the SL.
looking
Yeah.
Well, I remember when those came out because what a difference it was.
It looked
from
like a
the
Corvette.
model before.
It was like the Mercedes Corvette.
Yeah, the model before was, in my opinion, just like what had happened. I mean, that was like
It was your grandparents' car. It was the old car that they made for like
But
decades.
it was also like molested by Mercedes for like 20 years, right? It started out as beautiful little thing, and then it's like more plastic, more gizmos,
The
more
bumpers
junk.
got further
Correct,
out.
more crap. And then it's actually funny. I was talking to Zuckerman about it because at 1 year they added the pod for the reverse light, not the reverse light.
No, the third brake light.
The third brake light,
Yeah.
and he told me that people would go into a shop to get that added as a status symbol to show that they have a
had the
newer
new
car. It's just wild. It's
Well,
just,
we all take that shit
we
off.
take that shit off. I'm like, how do I backdate that thing? But now you got a hole. How am I going to fix that hole? Well, you got to paint the whole trunk.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, on my E36 M3, the previous owner had a legit lightweight wing on it.
Ooh.
I took it off.
Yeah.
I was like, gone, and then I had to fix the trunk and do all that.
Because the car wasn't a legit lightweight.
No, and it just looked just like this, had this thing. It looked like Boy Racer with this like thing on the back of it.
Yeah, I never liked the high one either. The lightweight spoiler
Correct.
was very, like a
Tall.
Honda-esque.
Correct. It looked like it had a Supra freaking tail on the, and on a Supra it looks like it just fits, but on that BMW it looks like
Shopping cart.
yes.
It's got the push
And I'm
bar.
still surprised that nobody has done a true, like really well built, wide-bodied E36. Every E36 wide-body that I'd seen, like aftermarket, always has some kind of like weird flare connections. Like it's never, nobody's gone into like a steel shop and like redone it like an E30.
Do you remember the V8 race cars that they made, the GTR, the
Yes.
M3 GTR?
Yes,
So
it's
that, give me something that looks like
I know.
that when the when the F, hang on, I'll get these right. When
By
the
the way,
F, when
if
the
you
F80,
do this right, hats off to you. 'Cause I have no idea what you're talking about.
whenever the F80 came out, it was the four-door of, we had the F82, the M4. It was when there was an M3 and an M4.
Got it.
The four-door had those
Yes.
crazy hips
Crazy hip-
of
yes.
that GTR from back in the day. If somebody could make a GTR body kit for the
Yes.
E30,
They exist,
E36.
but they're all bad. They're all bad. Like every one that I look at, you're like, I don't want to see bolts and rivets and thing. Like it just, something about them is always.
I
like,
don't mind that, but I'm with you that it would be nice to have a finished package.
I want a finished package.
Well, maybe we should make one.
I know. No, those days it's funny. You know how many projects I have that are stalled, like that are just like actually. COVID
Yeah, I
sucks.
probably do. I mean, it's
COVID
probably
su-
similar.
COVID sucks for that. You know, so
Stalled
like,
projects.
Stalled project. And one of the coolest things, and I hope to bring it back into this year, is a partnership with Recaro,
Ooh.
redoing the E36 on the inside with custom seats and sustainable materials. So that partnership basically stalled because we couldn't get materials. I was like, no. So I'm going to reach out to them. This inspired me.
Let's start it up again too, because we want to do something like that too. Because we need seats that are more comfortable for her, which would mean race seats to
Race
hold her
seats.
there. She can't hold herself in place anymore.
Pole positions.
That's what I'm thinking, just because they're the
love them.
easiest right
Yeah,
across the
they're
board.
so good.
And they have the ones that still hinge,
They do
don't they?
the pole positions.
Thought
no,
they did. I thought some. Oh, no, okay, maybe not.
You cut them.
Oh, I can't do that.
No, I know.
But to get the wheelchair in and
Correct,
out of the
correct,
back,
correct,
I need
correct.
it to be
You
able
need
to.
it to be go-
yeah.
go-
Doesn't need to be like a full.
Yeah.
But
It's
it
got
needs
to
to be
be.
able to
They make something, or maybe let's.
Or it's a
I'll
custom.
put this together, and then let's put that together, and
All
we'll
right.
make that happen.
I like it. Sounds good. What's coming up for you other than all of these awesome projects and you're just celebrating your fantastic accomplishments?
There's going to be a really amazing, I can't say the name of it,
Okay.
but there's going to be a really amazing restaurant, so keep following, that's going to launch in April or May
Okay.
in Beverly Hills. It's Italian.
Are you designing it?
Yes.
Excellent.
And it's a tour de force of labor of love that's been through a lot. And, I'm really excited. It's on the corner of Cannon and Santa Monica Boulevard.
I'll give you the address, the phone number. I just can't tell you the name.
I can't tell you the name. It's funny enough that they actually. Well, you know what? No, yes, I can actually because I'm barred from sharing photos. Of the project.
All right,
So
but the exclusive nature
it's a restaurant for Evan Funke,
Okay.
Funke. He did Felix and Mother Wolf,
Yes.
and we're doing just a
I always thought it was Funke because of that show. Is it funky?
Funke.
Okay.
He's such a lovely man.
Excellent.
And, humble.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's going to be a killer space.
You've been working on this for a while?
For a really long while, and again, we have such an amazing team that everybody's putting that together and getting that to fruition. I cannot wait to sit down and have a pizza.
Awesome.
We'll do that.
Yes,
I'll invite
please.
You guys over for
Please.
that. Let's do that.
Sounds great.
Has an incredible rooftop, which doesn't exist either in Beverly Hills. So like this is
Mastro's is the only place I can think of with
Yeah.
that. They have that outdoor area, but it's not a
area.
full rooftop.
No, this is a full freaking rooftop. You're gonna feel like you're in another planet. Like,
cool.
So that. We just completed this other project, which is a museum / office for
What?
the client that actually made this into reality, which is Kurt Rappaport, which is a developer and another mastermind.
I feel like that's what you live in, a museum / office.
Okay,
/
when
home.
you see this, honestly, when you see this, we designed this again. I'm nothing. Like the art, the care, and everything that's been taken into account in this project is on another level. We designed this staircase that's actually it's machined 1/2 inch thick stainless steel in an aerospace lab that's polished to chrome.
Oh.
It's like an Anish Kapoor sculpture that's stainless. I mean, like
You obviously know, having done this, how hard it is to polish stainless steel.
It's
I know
hell.
I know someone who took their DeLorean and stainless steel, polished
polished
it.
it.
They did it one panel at a time, and it took about 8 years.
There you go.
No joke.
So this went to an aerospace lab. And it's hell. So yeah, we have that. We've got a bunch of things happening. I'm just, it's a crazy year.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Well, don't be such a stranger. I mean, hopefully we won't have another COVID or anything else, but just know that we want you here anytime you want to drop by.
I love being here. This is inspiring.
I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too. It's always
Your
good.
energy is like really my jam. I
love
can
it.
hang out with you anytime.
Me too.
Also, you are way more chill than you were before. And
Really?
I felt that already, but
Way.
like way
Really?
more now.
Way more.
I thank you.
Not drinking
Yeah, it's
is
a big
probably
one.
a big one because
Yeah.
we both,
Thank you.
our personalities changed in the same way.
It's a big
Your
one, and
face is different. Like your energy exudes differently from your face.
really,
Well, your haircut's different too.
it is. It's back to what
You
it
look
used
good.
to be.
Yeah.
Thank you, but
The artist is back.
no, it's honestly the non-drinking thing is a big one. It's a big life change, and yeah, we talked about it. But
Very
wow,
positive.
this is a major compliment for me to hear that because it's something I care about. It's like my inner self. So if you guys see it, that means it's really there.
Oh, okay. Then your efforts are working. You should know that.
Yeah.
Salute
it
to you,
feels
sir.
Good.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
We talked about it. A lot of people, I think, are hesitant to give compliments. I think they feel like if you give a compliment, it takes something away from them.
Shoot. I don't feel that way, but sometimes you feel like you should give one back. I'm not the best receiver.
Actually, hold on. So I learned about that too. years ago, like I in a relationship, a girlfriend would say something to me, and I'll be like, I gotta say something back again.
You look pretty too.
No, you don't have to.
No, you're not supposed to.
You're just supposed to say
It
thank you.
steps on you receiving.
Yeah,
and
it's time for you to receive.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's life lessons, though, man. We're 45 now. Gray in the beard. All right. Well, Thursday, we were going to be here with Sean Cridland, author of the Brumos book and the Hurley book. But as you may have heard, he may be dealing with some other stuff, so we'll find out exactly what's going on with him. I hope he's all right health-wise. Jay Ward was going to be here as well. He is from Pixar, creative on Cars, and whatever. These people may not be here at all. We'll see what's going to happen. But Friday, we will be doing GVBC, but not on the mountain.
Yeah,
it
where's it
seems
gonna
like.
be?
Honestly, we think we're going to do it down at Auto Kennel because...
Fun. They're doing the open house.
Exactly. And we felt bad that we were going to
More
be
good
simultaneous instead of
That's
maybe we'll
perfect.
just, everybody, OC, GVBC,
That's perfect.
we love them.
I love Paul.
And there's inside because it's going to be raining, I think.
Oh yeah.
Snowing up there and raining down here.
Yeah.
But so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play it, till the last Thursday night will be the last whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
Jesus Christ. Somebody needs a drink. Get this guy a drink.
Get this guy a drink. Yeah. No. Actually, you know what's funny? I just came back from Europe. After I haven't left the country in 3 years, and I came back, and that was hard. Not
First
for me
time
not
being in
drinking,
Europe, not
for
drinking.
me not drinking. For everybody else, they're like, "What do you mean? You're like, chill the fuck out."
That's the thing. It's never.
I don't care.
Your journey is so easy.
I'm so
It's everyone
chill.
else's
Yeah.
amazement at your journey that blows people away.
So not even wine?
Yeah.
No. What do you mean not even wine? I don't think
So
you understand. There's alcohol in there. It doesn't matter, and you're only gonna have a bottle of it because I saw you have a bottle.
when we were drinking, if you only had one drink, that wasn't drinking.
Of course not.
Nope.
If you were having a drink on the way to something else between work or whatever, that
What
wasn't
is
drinking.
it? What is it?
A few
It's-
drinks in a row was drinking.
Chill out, guys. Like chill out. I'm good. Yeah, that was interesting.
I think that's something everybody goes through. Like if they give it up.
Yeah.
And it's not that you have to get rid of those friends. It's just like a total adjustment period.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting. One of them totally learned oh, he's still cool. He's still fine. He's
Only
still
one
the
of them?
Dan we know.
Or that's
No,
the one who
no.
realized it and said it back.
No, they all got it, but I'm just remembering, one that was the most hesitant towards this new version.
Yeah. From my experience, because it's funny how you keep your wit, when you're not drinking, everybody else is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like
They're-
mom at the
they're
party.
freaking-
Like, you
yeah.
can see everything and everybody's motivations, and they don't see any of it. And it's kind of interesting how you get to whatever, I don't know. You get to
It's
you're experiencing a totally different frequency.
It's a fly on the wall. But I do say this. So interesting thing too. I take edibles, right? So like THC edibles.
So you're not a square.
I'm not a square. I'm a round. No, so that could create a different mentality too.
Do you have the edibles while you're out, while the other
Yes.
people? Oh, okay.
Yes.
See, whenever I do that, I don't really want to talk to other people.
No, I'm totally cool.
You're good socializing?
I'm totally socializing, but I could also tell that my senses are like to another
feel
level.
everything, yeah.
Right? So that I could be like, what'd you say? I could be confrontational. So I've learned that about myself. So I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Because think about it. I don't know. For me, it was like 20 years of drinking or more, right? So it's like you've learned what that means. You've seen that is.
Mm-hmm.
This new drug for me, I need to, experiment and find out,
Yeah, I do. I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I drank for only like 15 years or something like that. I started when I was 21 and, I don't know, 36, 37, something like that.
For
Late
me, it's
30s.
the fact that it's legal has made it consumable on such an easy level for me.
The edibles.
Yeah.
That and the way they're making it now. You used to have to kind of eat a brownie or a thing. Nowadays, it's take a Altoid-looking thing from this
Correct.
little tin, and here's 20 milligrams.
Well, the problem I used to have was you would take it and not know
Oh, yeah.
whether I'm going to be flying.
You're fine right now, and in an hour from now, you're laying under the table.
Yeah. You're like, make this stop.
Luckily, I'm not. I would never. Yeah.
So now
I came
at least
around
I
later.
know. I know. I'm like, oh, it's 5 milligrams. I'll be fine. It's measured.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, so we think maybe GVBC at Auto Kennel. I don't know. But Sunday we'll be at Cafe de la Plage in Malibu, and that's what's going on. The lit show, there's lit shit all week. It's lit shit week. Lit week shit all week. There's open houses everywhere, but I don't know what stuff is rain and shine and what stuff is going to be.
Maybe we could do one at, could we do a mobile version of this at Bridge House?
This?
Yeah.
100%. We're yes.
Can we do that?
Can we? I'm just telling you now, yes, especially because we're doing that already. We've already done it. Let's totally do one there. We'll bring the desk and chairs.
We'll do.
Or you put up a little thing with all your beautiful furniture.
We'll check it out. We'll set it up. Let's do one of these.
I would love it.
Okay.
I would love that. That would be so fun.
In front of a live studio audience?
Yes.
I'm serious.
So am I. On April 15th, we'll be at the Motoring Club. And then at the end of last year, September, I think, of last year, we did a huge one down at the Marconi Museum that was really fun.
Let's do it. I mean, if we could,
we had like 5 stand-up
we're close
comics.
to the Peterson. We're within 10 minutes from the Peterson. So if we could do something like, I don't know, let's figure it out. That would be amazing.
Awesome.
2023.
Let's tie it in. I'm in.
I'm dead serious.
So am I.
Okay, good.
We'll make it a fundraiser. We'll tie it. We'll just make the whole thing just.
Yes.
I mean,
we've done a few good fundraisers at Bridge House.
I believe you.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
School stuff.
Beautiful.
Kid stuff. You
That's
know,
the right
so when
stuff.
people reach out to me like that, I'm like, place is yours. All you need to do is cater and clean.
Yeah,
that's
right.
it.
Take your shoes off. All right, I love you, Dan Brunn. I love you. We love you. We love you.
Absolutely.
Also, this guy up in Canada, we love you too. We love it.
Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Everybody on Instagram.
That's my
We
jam.
please love one another, right?
Yeah.
That's it. It's a long show. Sorry we went so long.
It was good
You're out
tonight.
by 7 though.
Yeah, is it that time?
It's 10 till.
Oh, I gotta go.
I know you do. All right, we love everybody. See you later.
See you guys.
Oh, thanks.
That was fun. That was inspiring. But yeah, we should